Well, it's lovely to see you all. That was extremely moving, and I will snap out of it in a moment. It's seeing all of that and hearing of Nin talking. I should explain that I'm responsible for Nin's name because she was Cecilia in her sort of initial baptism certificate, but my parents were insistent that I would call her Celia, and so they said her name is Celia. And being a linguist, I picked up on the first few slices of the sound, and I could only get as far as nin. And so that's where it stuck. And so I feel responsible for her name, which is really quite an achievement. I'm sorry, I don't normally go into this, but having seen Celia talking so eloquently just a few moments ago, it sort of brought all the floods back, and I've been trying to rack my brains to think of things which were really memorable, and it's quite funny because all the things that you remember about somebody aren't always the best. Lynn was saying just recently, she said, "I'm terribly sorry, I was really horrid to you when you were little." Well, yes, but we got over that. But it was really funny because hearing the tune of La Mer reminded me how she and I used to dance to it when we were trying to learn the waltz. And we did a lot of dancing and mucking about. We used to have picnics a lot, and when I say picnics, these were usually midnight feasts underneath our bed, with bits we'd nicked from the larder, and there wasn't a great deal in those days anyway. But it was funny how it sort of progresses. And we had, I think we were both hugely affected actually by the war, because both of us experienced my father's absence, particularly Nin most likely more than me, although I can remember as clearly as day when I first met my father, because we were all up in the nursery, and we were having a sort of, oh, where is he? Is he coming? You know, soon there'll be a taxi or something, and I think it was some taxi came up from Brighton Station, and so everybody rushed down to the front door, and I was left trying to struggle out of the sort of window seat, fell over, and then promptly fell down the stairs, and being very cussed and grumpy about all of this, I went up with Nin clutching Pa's legs and Mum sort of kissing him all over and saying, "You're not my dad. My dad's a soldier." I think I've been prompted so much by sort of seeing men in sort of puttees and guns and all that. He was quite a disappointment. But it was funny how these sort of things come floating back. But we all got over it by about the sort of teenage years. Nin was very alternative. She had, as I'm sure many of you know, she had all sorts of special ways of doing things, and particularly being a bit awkward at school, because I think the real luck for her was the fact that my mother was, or our mother, it's funny, she was head girl, and so all the terrible things that she did, like cutting off teachers' hair with scissors when they weren't looking. One girl had a bob, and as she leant forward to teach this child something, Celia spotted this and thought, boy, there's something here. And so she got a pair of sort of cutting out shears, I mean, chunk, the whole of the quadrant. But she survived the school, amazingly. But we had a lot of fun later on when we'd all sort of grown up a bit and got children of our own, and we had lots of amusement, and there were many of them with faces I can see now, and it would be just terrific to hear. It was fantastic. Well, I will stop ranting on before I get too emotional. But thank you for coming and experiencing our love scene, or me.